Welcome on into our first semi-final of the day between Penta and WND. This is going to be a good one. Here we are on Sleeping Giant for our first one in this game, and the green team for this game will be Penta, and they're going to be running Ohio, Des Moines, Moskva, Nevsky, Petropavlovsk, Marceau, Haragumo. That's a one battleship composition. SeaRaptor?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised to see that. I don't know about you. We don't see much of this.
We saw them do it on this map in the grand final.
Oh, so you have seen this?
Yeah.
Okay. And which they obviously, as I recall, they won that game.
They did win this game. So.
All right. So this is not something that WND should be surprised by then, because they were the other team in that grand final. All right. Opposing them from the south, WND bringing Montana, Kremlin, Des Moines, Napoli, Moskva, and Nevsky, fronted by 3 destroyers, Double Marceau and Harugumo. So all the Marceaus and Harugumos we can pack into this game. Seems that both teams have gone, well, all in. And already you can see Double Marceau headed straight to B. These guys look like they just want to pick this up and then go be somewhere else.
They're basically like, all right, we want to send a Marceau in the middle. What happens if we get caught out? We'll send a second Marceau.
We'll send more Marceau. That's right. If we have double your guns, we probably win that gunfight. And so that seems to be the case here.
They can also make a sharp turn through the Thunderdome and go on to the A cap to contest that as well if they want to choose to.
Now, Zath and I discussed that in previous games. We haven't seen many teams do that this time around with this cap configuration on Sleeping Giant. Have you?
No, people tend to stay out of the Thunderdome. Like, they're just not interested in it now. There's no cap in there. Fair enough, there'll be a bit of pressure coming in there from in the late game. People will like send ships via A, like from A into it towards B, just so they've got some sort of pressure over the B cap, so they can reset anything that tries to go into it. But early game, it doesn't seem to be people wanting to go that way out.
Yeah. Blood Legends Petro Radar coming out early there, getting a few resets on the Double Marceau and a little bit of chip damage on one. But it's not going to be enough to prevent the cap in the end. Now, we see there Penta's done something a little different. Penta's done something a little different with their Marceaus. They've split them up, sent one to each of the wings here. They're going to pick up probably the A and the C cap. Well, they are. There's no way for WND to stop it.
Let's quickly run over these deployments anyway. So, Penta, for the green team in this game, have sent Marceau, Haragumo, Des Moines, and Moskva at the A cap. B cap is being manned by absolutely nothing. And then over at C cap, we have this Marceau, Haragumo, Nevsky, Petropavlovsk and Ohio bringing up the rear as well.
Now you called it. Both these double Marceaus from WND here in the middle are going to go right through the middle of the Thunderdome and head towards the new A cap over here on the opposing side, where they will find a Marceau and a Harugumo of their own, and of course NALL's Des Moines lurking back there.
Yeah, he could be an issue for these two Marceaus, depending on where this Des Moines wants to go. He could be hydro pressure onto the Thunderdome, and that would allow shots for the Marceau of CEO of Dog and also for Viles Haragumo to just like rain down shells into that, along with potential Ohio cross shots and Blood Legends Petropavlovsk cross shots should they choose to be interested in that. So it's kind of risky sending ships into the Thunderdome here. There is just the potential to be permanently hydro, but it looks like the Des Moines is actually going to go wide instead and head towards the one line. Is being smoked up by his Haragumo right now.
Yeah, WND has gone very heavy on the A deployment here, right? We've got a Des Moines, Nevsky, Harugumo in the back, Kremlin hugging up near the island, Double Marceau, which are detected now.
Yeah,
Moskva's picked them up, so they know exactly where to find those two ships. And so basically, if you're WND, this is kind of all your eggs are here. You've got to make this play work, as a tremendous amount of focus fire going in here on CEO of Dogs Marceau as he's trying to run out of that radar. He hasn't quite. Well, he's still detected. They're going to get him up. Looks like he's going to get behind some smoke here in a moment.
I think he's bloom spotted from the Haragumo down on the one line.
Or either that or the Marceaus. But either way, there we go. Now that he's got a smoke screen behind him, he's clear.
Now, it looks like this position is a lot stronger than it is for these two Marceaus because they can't actually directly get into this cap, and this cap is taking for Penta right now. The Moskva, this is the hydro position that we were on about before. Mm-hmm. Now we see that Moskva of Anlaitung is able to sit and hydro both these Marceaus, and they have to risk the combined firepower of Haragumo, Marceau, and Des Moines all want to rain down on them if they want to get out. Instead, it looks like they're going to be focusing the Kremlin of Alive and Dry, who seems to be slightly overextended here.
Well, I mean, I feel like he's in the position they want him to be in, but of course now he's got Harugumo, Marceau, and Des Moines all, firing at him. That's a lot of shells. Those ships have crazy fast reloads.
He pops his damage control part. He's also running a heal. Once these go down, he's in a lot more stress if they manage to get more chain fires onto him. It doesn't look like they have any vision onto him at the minute, though, so he should be okay for now. But the Moskva radar's not up for another 90 seconds. He should be able to get himself quite safe.
These two Marceaus inside Thunderdome having to bail away from that Moskva position. The Hydro keeping them perma-spotted well enough for their teammates on other portions of the map to chunk shells in there and basically get damage for free.
Speaking of other portions of the map, I just want to point out this Haragumo Nevsky push that's gone all the way down the 10 line already. They have took so much ground, which has also allowed the Ohio and Petropavlos to rotate back. And now we have a Marceau versus Marceau action going on in B cap. Looks like the red Marceau caught bow in.
Yeah, but Penta's Marceau here, that's helicopter. He has a lot more friends nearby.
Yeah, being bow in a Marceau, you tend to lose the Marceau 1v1s. He might be able to get a bit of damage back, but I think this red Marceau's about to go down for WND. Ohio should have a salvo ready. Petropavlos should have a salvo ready.
See, I'm waiting on Angel Stone's next salvo. Blood Legend's still firing.
There's the Ohio salvo.
They're still putting shells down range on helicopter. If they can make a trade here, that's maybe not a terrible play for W&D.
He's going to beach up on this island.
I don't think it's going to happen. No.
Still shells coming in towards helicopter. Helicopter is dark now. I don't think any of these are going to land. No, he's just stopped, dodged the wall. There is another Moscow salvo, but I don't think it's going to be it either.
No, I don't think it's going to be that impactful.
Yeah.
No.
All right, back over to the A cap. We do see lots of farming is being happening while we're not being paying attention. We have Des Moines Haragumo raining down on top of the Kremlin still. Meanwhile, we have Marceau and Moscow raining down on this Des Moines, who's currently burning on a double fire. No damage control available. Kind of suffering a bit here.
Yeah, Anle Tung there is kind of a bit caught out, but I mean, it's really the Des Moines that's suffering the most. I keep wondering if one of the things that I like, we saw on NA a couple of times, Moskva's in this position, reverse just a little too far, and gets slapped from a battleship at mid. You have to wonder if FaZe back there is looking for that shot, but he's not getting it. Anle Tung doing a great job of keeping this tall island on his port side as they do bag the Des Moines.
So, current take stock of the situation. We do have the Kremlin. Actually, we have the Kremlin charging forward, trying to get something done in the A cap, at least block points. They're like 400 points down at the minute. They can't afford to continue letting this points bleed going, and they have no way at all to currently access the C cap. The Z cap is just completely off limits with this gigantic Nevsky Haragumo push. The Nevsky Haragumo have decided they want to fall back. Actually, they're no longer interested in pushing because, there's a Montana and a Napoli there. We can't just go in forever. There's also the Moskva.
Alive and Dry's Kremlin sailing through the A-cap, but he's not going to stop. He's going to just keep throwing shells downrange as he comes into Thunderdome. So again, Penta's going to go back to ticking up 2 caps to 1 as they're already up 2 ships and nearly, it's 350 points and change here. They're trying to farm out the Moskva, but they haven't quite managed it yet. They've brought in Shamil's Marceau to make sure that Moskva stays proxy spotted through the island.
That was that Montana salvo that you were on about there. You looked for it, you couldn't quite get it. Yeah. Accelerate just in time.
I'm sure FaZe's looking for that shot, but Anle Tung's doing a great job of staying by this particular rock, right? If he moves a little too far forward or a little too far back, there's a gap where he can get smashed.
Well, actually, the Haragumo on the one line got caught by Des Moines' radar. Int'l and Vile pushed back towards him, catch the Haragumo out. That's going to leave the Nevsky completely on his own. The Kremlin doesn't have shots for the Des Moines when he makes this push, and I don't think they're going to be able to get Anle Tung either because he's no longer spotted.
They pushed Shamil back again as well. Although Anle Tung is continuing to burn, I think they are going to get him finally right about here.
Okay.
There he goes.
All right, taking stock of the situation. 3 kills to 1. 400 point lead, 2 cap advantage, 2 minutes left on the game clock. PTA currently in the lead. WND need to make something happen somewhere. Potential for this to happen over at the C cap with this Napoli and Montana cross counter push. There's a Kremlin in the middle of the Thunderdome who could potentially come out and do something. Unsure what.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I feel like sending the Kremlin. I feel like they're going to have to send the Kremlin out there. I'm just not sure it's going to do a whole lot. He's just going to kind of probably get farmed out. I mean,
that's the reason
there's a lot of ships with guns looking into that cap circle,
Yeah, he came back into this Thunderdome because he recognized, oh no, the Des Moines is being re-smoked by this Haragumo right now. I cannot sit and be farmed by that Des Moines Haragumo. I will just burn down.
Yeah, it feels a little bit like, the Kremlin position was very useful over at A, I feel like. But FaZe's original Montana position down here south of B meant to kind of help protect the stuff over, have shots on the Pentaforces north of A. Don't know that he ever really got those shots. Now, they have brought Shamil's Marceau back in. They are going to be able to pick up A because I don't believe Penta's going to be able to defend it. But when you've got this kind of lead, it might not actually matter that much.
No, we do see a couple of shots going on. The Montana got a shot on the Nevsky over here on the 10 line. They maybe get something done here. The Napoli push is not looking as good as I thought it was originally. I think he might have taken a torpedo. Yeah, he took a torpedo in this push trying to get onto the Haragumo, and now we just see the Haragumo's just like, okay, it's time for the farming to commence. We have a Nevsky Haragumo about to rain down on this Napoli who has absolutely nothing to spot for him, so he's just charging in there. He doesn't have a smoke screen available. He does have a smoke screen to disengage if he wants to now. But they have to make something happen.
Yeah, it feels like we're looking. I mean, if you're Penta, you absolutely have to like your chances here, because W&D has to step on these cap circles, or they're gonna lose in just a couple of minutes. And so you're kind of you've got a lead, you've got a ship lead, you've kind of forced their hand. Now all you have to do is pull back and soak up the HP that your opponents are throwing at you.
Well, they did manage to take 2 caps.
Well, they're about to lose No Name's Napoli, who's just gotten into sea, and there he goes.
Yeah, 57 seconds left on the game clock. Is there anything that can be done? Back over at the one line, we do see that the Marceaus got caught in the Des Moines radar. They're trying to rain down shells. That Des Moines is very low.
If Shamil goes, that's the game. I mean, that's the win condition for Penta right now. If they land enough shells, and there it is.
Well, that was a interesting start of the series. Very heavy Marceau and Haragumo play. I want to see if that continues on in this series. Nevsky's and Moskva's going to be taking their usual place in this as well. And honestly, I'm not sure what a Gearing or if St. Vincent would have. I'm not sure if they would have made any particular changes on this map.
Don't think so. I mean, with the Gearing ban, the Harugumo and or you and I talked about it. No, Harugumo and or Yu Yang probably decent replacements for that ship. They opted for Harugumo. We saw them use that yesterday in their series against KSC to such devastating effect. So you kind of had to expect that if you're going to take Gearing out of their pockets, they're going to reach for Harugumo instead.
Yeah, pretty much. I think the best people to do this sort of analysis will be a certain not Seraphis. He's not invited. Seraphis can just ban the laptop. Instead, we can send it to Bogsy because he got really upset that I didn't mention him yesterday.